Hi guys, good evening. Guys, we will resume the most important topics discussion of science and tech. In the afternoon, we have discussed some of the important topics from the space sector, and now we will be discussing some of the important topics from the health sector. So every year we see one or two questions coming from the health sector, guys. Let me just share the PPT with you. Give me a thumbs up, guys. If you can hear me loud, give me a thumbs up. We'll start our session in just 1 minute. So I see many of you joined in. Around 21 people have joined. Okay, good afternoon. Someone is saying good afternoon. It's good evening. It's around 11 p.m. in the night. Someone is saying good afternoon. It's 11 p.m. Okay. It's about to be, okay, midnight. Okay. So I'm audible, guys. Am I audible? Okay. Okay, let's start. So guys, the very first topic, if you see this year, sickle cell is in news. Why sickle cell is in news? Sickle cell anemia is in news. Sickle cell disease is in news. Why it is in news? Because guys, gene therapy, first gene therapy, okay, that has been, okay, approved for sickle cell. Okay, so guys, sickle cell disorder is a genetic disorder. It is a genetic disorder. It basically hampers the hemoglobin. Okay, it hampers the hemoglobin part. Okay, it leads to various challenges. It alters the blood cell shape, leading to blockages and oxygen deprivation. Guys, we all know hemoglobin is very important. Okay, so this sickle cell, basically it's a genetic disorder which hampers the blood cell. Okay, and it leads to oxygen deprivation. Since it is a genetic disease. So previously there was no cure of this. Now with the use of CRISPR-Cas9 genetic editing, okay, now they are trying to cure sickle cell, okay, disease also. Sickle cell disease also very, very important. The blood cell becomes like a kind of sickle. Okay, the blood cells, very, very important. It's a very important development which has taken place. So I think definitely high chance there is a probability that you will get question on this. Guys, sickle cell is generally more prevalent among the tribal people. Okay, so you should keep this in mind. Okay, guys, let's see the two editing mechanisms. One is called the Casgevy, another is called Lyfgenia. Very, very important. Casgevy and Lyfgenia. Definitely question can come on Casgevy because this approved technique of curing the thalassemia and sickle cell disease is the Casgevy technique. It is the Casgevy technique which uses the CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing technique. CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing technique, very, very important. This is very, very important. Okay, you see, reactivates the production of hemoglobin. Okay, edits the blood stem cells. It edits the blood stem cells and reduces sickle cells by diluting the fetal hemoglobin. Very, very important one. Okay, the name of Lyfgenia is also very important. This can also be a, okay, they will just generally they will not go deeper. Okay, they will just give the name Lyfgenia casgevy. What are these? So these are gene editing techniques. These are gene editing techniques. Okay, very, very important. Okay, so you should definitely go through them. Next is the CAR T cell therapy. CAR T cell therapy. This is a cancer treatment therapy. This is a cancer treatment therapy, a kind of a immunotherapy, where we improve the immune system of the body. But how do we do that? We use the blood. We use the blood of the affected person, and then in that blood, the T cells, okay, we improve those T cells. We improve those T cells. We reprogram those T cells so that these T cells can attack the cancer cells, effectively. Okay, can attack the cancer cells effectively. It's a kind of a, the blood of the patient is used, and in that blood the T cells. Okay, I hope you know what are T cells. Okay, very, very important for the immune system of the body. Okay, so we reprogram the T cells. We reprogram the T cells by adding receptors, chimeric antigen receptors. This will make the T cells more effective against the cancer cell. So blood cancer like leukemia can be solved using the CAR T therapy. In India, the therapy is called NexCAR19. In India, the therapy is called NexCAR19. Is this clear, guys? Is this clear? Quickly. Okay, very, very important. I'm giving you very important topics only which can come in the UPSC examination. Okay. Next one, a revolutionary drug, Semaglutide. A revolutionary drug. This drug has revolutionized the entire medical field, guys. This drug has revolutionized the entire medical field. Why? Why do I say this? Because, guys, throughout the world, particularly in the Western world, we have seen the challenge of obesity. We all know that obesity can be tackled using good diet, exercises. However, now just by taking a pill, wonder drug pill, you can solve the obesity problem. And what is that drug? Semaglutide. Okay, semaglutide. Okay, so this is very, very important. Very, very important. And two brands which are going to be very popular nowadays is the Ozempic. Okay, is the Ozempic and Wegovy. Ozempic and Wegovy. Let me write it. Ozempic and Wegovy. Okay, very, very important. You know, guys, this drug which is using the semaglutide is based on GLP-1 receptors. It is based on GLP-1 receptors. So they can ask you, what is GLP-1 receptors? Guys, GLP-1 receptor agonists are a class of drugs that mimic the action of hormone called glucagon-like peptide 1. Glucagon-like peptide 1. It's a kind of a hormone. And when the blood level sugars rise, the drug helps to produce more insulin to control it. This GLP-1 receptors. Guys, currently, this drug is not allowed in India. This is very, very important. You need to keep in mind. Next, rare diseases. Very important. Government of India has come out with a policy on rare diseases. Policy on rare disease. What are rare diseases? The name itself explains that rare diseases are diseases which are not very common. According to WHO, 1 out of 1,000 population is affected by rare diseases. In India, it is 1 out of 2,500. And since they are rare, so treatments are not very popular. It is very costly because economies of mass scale is not available here. The examples of rare diseases are lysosome storage disorder, Pompe disease, Gaucher disease. You know, the drugs which cure these diseases are called orphan drugs because they are very rare. Not much research and investment goes into it. Therefore, Government of India has come out with a national rare disease policy, and the focus is on indigenous research, production of medicines, lower the treatment cost, and early detection of rare diseases. Guys, Government of India is also giving 50 lakh for treatment at Center of Excellence, and also from the Rashtriya Arogya Nidhi scheme, they will give payment to poor people. Government has established 8 health facilities at Center of Excellence. The word here is Center of Excellence, not in every hospital. Center of Excellence. And government is giving 5 crore for these Center of Excellence. Okay, rare diseases, guys, as I told you, lysosome storage disorder, muscular dystrophy, multiple sclerosis, thalassemia, sickle cell anemia. Okay, all these are rare diseases. Okay, rare diseases, very rare. Next, guys, very important, antimicrobial resistance. What is antimicrobial resistance? Guys, sometimes because of misuse of drugs, what happens is the microbes which are there in our body, they develop resistance against the antibiotics. When we don't take antibiotics properly, when we overuse antibiotics, the microbes which are there in our body, the bacteria which is there in our body, they develop the resistance against those antibiotics, and that is called antibiotic resistance. Same goes for other microbes, fungus, parasites, viruses. When they develop resistance, it is called antibiotic resistance or antimicrobial resistance. What are the reasons responsible for antimicrobial resistance? The most important reason, guys, is overuse of antibiotics, irrational use of antibiotics, misuse of antibiotics, particularly in the veterinary segment. Other reasons are unhygienic condition in hospitals, lack of disease management in hospitals, These are the reasons. So India has also taken measures against antibiotic resistance. What are the measures? We have National Action Plan on Containment of Antimicrobial Resistance. Then we have Red Line Campaign. What is Red Line Campaign? Very important. Red Line Campaign means if on a medicine there is a red line, then we don't get those medicines over the counter. We can only get through doctor prescription. Guys, WHO has started also many initiatives for antimicrobial resistance. These are, you can see here, Global Antimicrobial Resistance and Surveillance System called GLASS. Very important. GLASS. Then we have, you can see, Secure Mission. Then we have the Gram Report. Then we have the Gram Report. Then we have the Global Framework for Development of Stewardship of Antimicrobial Resistance. This is led by 3 organizations. This is led by 3 organizations. Which are those? WHO, FAO, and OIE. Organizations of Animal Disease, OIE, very important. Animal Health, very, very important. Then guys, there is H1 rule. H1 rule for what? Again, controlling the misuse of antibiotics, scheduled drugs. Next guys, zoonotics. Zoonotics are those diseases that transfer from animals to humans. Animals to humans, that are called zoonotics. That are called zoonotics. Very, very important. Very, very important, zoonotics. The main reason for zoonotics are what? The main reason for zoonotics are what? Climate change, mismanagement of wildlife, close contact with animals. Guys, COVID-19 was a zoonotic. There are many zoonotic diseases. There are many zoonotic diseases like anthrax. Okay, go through the names of zoonotic diseases, very, very important. Guys, India has launched the One Health Consortium. What is One Health? One Health is a concept where we take the animal health, human health, and environmental health together in an integrated fashion. That is called One Health. That is called One Health. Guys, again I repeat, there is a tripartite alliance set up to counter this zoonotic diseases, One Health concept. This is led by WHO, FAO, and OIE. Very, very important. OIE, very, very important. You will definitely get a question on this topic. I'm predicting this topic for last 2 years. I don't know why the question setters are ignoring these 2 topics. Guys, these 2 topics, antimicrobial resistance and the One Health, very, very important. Next, mRNA technology, very, very important. mRNA technology. Guys, mRNA technology is a technology where the mRNA helps the body to produce various proteins which can help the body. Okay, which can help the body. So the mRNA is introduced in the body using nanoparticles. Using nanoparticles. And when this mRNA reaches the immune cells, they stimulate immune response. They stimulate immune response. Again, very, very important. mRNA technology. mRNA technology. It instructs the cell it instructs the cell to produce those proteins which can fight disease. mRNA technology, very, very important. Nobel Prize was given for mRNA technology. Next important topic is the genome sequencing. Guys, genome sequencing is very important because it can help us to cure various diseases. Genome sequencing. Genome, what is genome? It is the order in which the genes are arranged in our body. Guys, there are various projects throughout the world. The most famous one is the Human Genome Project, which basically aims to sequence the genome, the whole genome of human. It is basically aimed at creating a map of human genome. And this will help us to identify diseases, to have a surveillance on diseases, to develop therapies for diseases. So, help to understand human evolution, identify mutations, identify disease-causing gene, help in gene bank, improve forensics, improve bioinformatics. Very, very important. Guys, Government of India has launched 10,000 genome project. 10,000 genome project. Very, very important. The Department of Biotechnology completes the 10,000 genome project to create a comprehensive reference database for whole genome sequence specific to Indian population. Guys, Indian population will have a different genetic setup. And by studying this genetic setup, we can understand the disease pattern, the epidemiological pattern. We can develop cures for various diseases. So 20 institutes in India, they have come together to sequence Indian genomes. 10,000 genome project, very, very important. Related to this is the INSAGOG. INSAGOG. Let me just write it down. INSAGOG. Please prepare that also. Although I don't think now they will ask. Last year I was expecting they will ask question on INSAGOG. They did not ask it. But it's very, very important. Again, this is related to genome sequencing of the COVID virus. Next, guys, GM mustard. GM mustard. GM mustard basically is a mustard which is produced by editing genes. Three important genes which are introduced here are the bar gene, barnase, and bastrar. Very, very important. These three genes are very, very important. And all are derived from soil mycobacterium. Very, very important. There is a claim that this gene is a herbicide tolerant gene. Okay. So remember these three words: bar gene, barnase, and bastrar. Very, very important. So there are some advantages of this GM mustard, which is also called DMH11. Okay. Better yield. Okay, very, very important. But there are concerns also that it may lead to crisis in pollination. The honeybees may get affected. The biodiversity may get affected. The soil fertility may get affected. And that is why we need the GAAC to go into it. Guys, GAAC stands for Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee. It is under the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change. It is a statutory body under Environment Protection Act. Environment Protection Act. Very, very important. GEAC. Okay. So guys, for today, since it's already very night, today was my birthday, so I was little bit occupied, but I have taken 2 sessions. Tomorrow, Saturday, again I will take at least 2 sessions, and I will cover the entire science and tech. Okay. Do not worry, all important topics will be covered. All important topics will be covered in a quick revision session. So tomorrow, please wait for it. Again, I am repeating, all important topics have been covered in the FLTs. I hope you are taking the FLTs. Thank you guys. Bye.